Right, here we go then. So let's have a look at some of these coins. We'll start with Bitcoin. We'll just move to Matic, and we'll just leave it with those two for the moment. Maybe we'll update at the end of the day. So I'm not your financial advisor. It's not financial advice. So just pick it up on the last video we made yesterday. It started off by looking quite good in the morning. We wanted to see how we were looking towards the end of the day. There was something about the way that it was moving on the 4-hourly and on a lower time frame, which suggested to me that it was actually getting pretty tired. It wasn't really able to push up again into this area, and each time we tried there was kind of rejections at the top of the blue box, saying to me that basically there's not enough interest going into it, there's not enough momentum pushing it up any further. So I did reserve a bit of my judgment to the movements of the up. Even though we were above all these moving averages here, we were breaking down beneath the 200 EMA, also the green 50, and actually coming down to our last level here, comfortable level that would be, of the 200 simple. So and also on top of that, if we can see this little skinny purple one here, descending descending purple 50. So basically, I did leave yesterday by saying it's a no trade zone for me, and we need to see how it's going to go. I wasn't convinced it was going to go up, nor was I convinced it was going to go down. The only way for me to have really known would have been to have stayed up at night and waited for the close to happen, and then we could have made more of an educated guess as to which way it's going to go. Because basically what we needed to see was if this close was going to close above our last close here, and it didn't. It actually closed below it, and that's triggered this event. So what does this mean from now then? So basically we're sort of moving around the 10,150. I'd say we're in a blue box territory, even though I've not put one in. So 10,250 to 10,000 is going to be this range that we're going to move within right now. If it breaks above the 10,250 area and starts to move up, then perhaps we might start to climb again into this blue box area. I would expect some pretty hard rejection again, though, like we did here. It doesn't look mature enough now to push up above both of these blue boxes and then even break above this descending trend. It's looking a little tired. I wouldn't say it's looking weak, but it's certainly looking tired. Is it going to break down beneath 10,000? We have to see how it goes from here. It's probably going to touch 10,000 and find a little bouncy. But if it touches it and there's a wick close beneath it and it's below this little wick here of 9,750, or at least 9,800, it's not a good sign, and we probably are going to be coming back down again over time. Maybe visiting some of these previous lows of 9,000 again, but that's a way away at the moment. Again, this area that we're in now, this 10,000 to 10,250, it's an area that it's got to resolve itself from. If this daily can close above 10,250, then we can start to climb back up again. But to be honest with you, I think the likelihood is we're going to test 10,000 before we find a little bounce. And depending on if we test it and break beneath it, even if it's just temporary, we've got to see if we can measure that wick below this one here before we can make any decisions. So Matic couldn't avoid this. Alts are being punished by Bitcoin's dominance still. Despite Bitcoin coming down, its dominance is actually still up, and in fact it's climbing up. I believe it's near 70% at the moment. It might even be 70% now. So anyway, because of that, alts are suffering. Major alts are coming down stronger than lower than Matic, I should say. Matic's actually doing okay for itself, but is it just a delayed reaction? It could quite easily be. Looking at this now on the 4-hourly, we do have it looks like a cross might take place on the MACD, which would spark a bit more of a sell-off actually. That sell-off could be a bit dangerous for us, because if we sell off and go beneath this this green 50, we'd be coming down to our major support of 1.45 cent. And if that one does break for whatever reason, we are going to plummet down towards these areas here, around about 1.35 cent. That would be pretty catastrophic for Matic, because if it does come down that far, it's likely to create death cross if we come down there for a prolonged period of time. And when I say prolonged, I mean we've got to get out of that area within 12 hours to a day at tops, and if we don't, then the death cross would probably happen, and we'll probably be climbing back down to where we started from, to be honest with you. We'd have a little bounce probably around 1.2 cent, but over time we'd probably come back down to where we were, and maybe even new lows. So we've got to see where this one bounces from. Like I say, it's responding to the rest of the market, and even though it's showing us relative strength, as you can see on the Satoshi values, we're actually making little moves up as Bitcoin goes down. It does show relative strength, and actually it's stronger than we probably think. When we look at the daily, it's still pretty strong. It's definitely stronger than Bitcoin, but that strength can be overridden quite quickly by Matic, because it does fall quite hard, and it would certainly fall hard if it breaks down beneath this 200 EMA, this white one here. So really, it's just a quick video to let you know that at the moment Bitcoin is still dominating. Bitcoin is likely to come down on still some, and Bitcoin has not finished its consolidation by any means. Sideways action for Bitcoin is certainly the case, and when I say sideways, we're talking anywhere from 9,000 to 11,000 really. That's a $2,000 sideways action. It's a lot. So really, we're not likely to come up and test this area anytime today. We're more likely to be bouncing and sitting around the 10,000 area, and which is essentially right in the middle of this consolidation area that we're going to be in, the 9,000 to 11,000. So we're sat right in the middle. We are beneath all moving averages of shorter time frames. The only ones on the daily that are below us are these extremely strong and still bullish 200 simple 200 EMA. And now, if for whatever reason we do break beneath those, this is where we're going to be bouncing from. And to be honest with you, you know, as this climbs up, the lowest I would ever expect Bitcoin to come down to at this point now would be 8,500. And maybe if this continues to consolidate, and we're looking at the way that it worms around, it's snaking around, if it were to break down, you know, beneath 9,000, we might be up around that area, anyway, around this area. So. But anyway, I'll stop rambling, I'll leave it there. Bitcoin in the centre, and we're waiting for it to touch that 10,000 and see where we go from there. I'll update you hopefully at the end of the day. So I hope you have a nice day, take it easy, and thanks for watching everybody. See you later.